Good morning. My name is James Moser. On behalf of First Unitarian Church of Wilmington, Delaware, I welcome you here and to our service online. First U is by nature and by profession and by conscious decision a welcoming congregation. If you're a first-timer or a regular attender, you're welcome here. If you enter this space with years of cultivated spiritual wisdom, hold up your hand. Or if you're struggling to find meaning and answers, you don't need to hold up your hand, you're welcome here. If you are at a place in life where you are secure and happy, or if you're struggling to find the means to continue, you are welcome here. If your relationships are copacetic, or if you're experiencing tension, you're welcome here. If you are white, black, tan, brown, or gray, you are welcome here. If you are single, partnered, or single again, you are welcome here. And no matter your gender orientation or whom you love, you are welcome here. You, each and every, are welcome here. So let us share a greeting with one another, offering first, as has become our custom, a wave to those who are viewing online to our camera to the side. We welcome you folks in spirit. And now, please rise as you will or are able and greet those around you with a warm first you welcome. We indeed welcome you. One announcement this morning, and it's a big one. Next weekend, one of the premier events in the entire church year, and it is the kickoff of a new church year, is the live stream summer camp for adults beginning on Friday. Registration is still open, although the end is coming, and some of the classes are filling up. For more detailed information about all of the courses being offered and all the other arrangements regarding summer camp are in a brochure available at both entrances to the sanctuary and in the parish hall. Some events, as I've mentioned, have limited registration, so you need to sign up today and to get ready for a great experience. There will be a computer in Parish Hall following the service so that you can register with immediacy at that time. And for those of you who are planning to attend any of the food events, today is the last day to register for those. This morning, we welcome our song leader, Cindy Cohen, and our pianist, Linda Henderson, and we welcome our guest speaker, the Reverend Cathy Rion Starr, and her family. Her spouse and children are here today as well. Reverend Cathy is a graduate of the Starr King School of the Ministry and of Stanford University, and she has served as a parish minister on both United States coasts. Reverend Cathy will challenge us this morning with the proposition that we have the agency to change the future. Now let us prepare our minds, our hearts, our spirits to receive the gifts of our gathering today.
Come into this place, made holy by our presence, by your presence. Come into this place with your whole being. Bring your tears and your laughter, your foibles and your follies. Bring your gifts, your questions, your messiness, your beauty. Bring your distracted self, your ragged breath, your aching heart. Bring your delight, your wonder, your despair, your excitement. You are welcome here, in this place where love abounds. This place where we are blessed with love and amazing grace, where we co-create sacred space. May we be reminded here of the beauty of life and the centrality of love. May we be reminded that the future is ever unfolding. Here may we kindle and rekindle joy, purpose, and connection. Come, let us worship together.
If you have a chalice at home, we invite you to put a flame to it as we light the chalice here in the sanctuary this morning. With these words that are rehearsed at the Starr King Seminary Chapel. With the kindling of this flame, we reaffirm our commitment to accept life's gifts with grace and gratitude, and to use them to bless the world in the spirit of love. Now, as you are able and willing, please rise and we will sing hymn number 1008. And then I invite you to remain standing for the statement of affirmation following the hymn.
When our heart
Please join with me in our unison affirmation. First Unitarian Church of Wilmington is a beloved community that nourishes minds and spirits, fights injustice, and transforms the world through loving action.
Now is the time in our service when we turn our attention inward to the joys and sorrows in our hearts. I welcome you to bear with me as I am entering into the practice that you all have here, and surely will do it imperfectly, which is the way that we do things as humans. Let us enter this space with the words from poet Adrienne Rich. My heart is moved by all I cannot save. So much has been destroyed. I have to cast my lot with those who, age after age, perversely, with no extraordinary power, reconstitute the world. Let those words sit in a shared silence for a moment. And now let us share together those things on our hearts this morning. We're going to start over here with concerns that are heavy on your hearts. And I will do my best to repeat after you as I can. Gaza. Can you say that again, my friend? Maria Chesterton and her family. Jessica. Paula. Izzy. Attacks on trans people, holding trans people in our hearts. A friend, Cathy, and her dog, beloved dog's death and grief. All these concerns, these things that weigh heavily on our hearts, we hold together, that they may be held a little bit more lightly. Let us also share those joys, those delights that are lifting us in these moments. And I will begin by saying it is a delight to be here in your sanctuary. My partner, Reverend Heather, and I have been in Southern Delaware for 4 years, and we finally made it here. It's a joy. It's a joy to be here. Other joys. Seeing faces of friends you haven't seen in a while. The beautiful sunny day. May I editorialize without so much humidity and incredible heat. Oh, what a joy. My garden. Celebrating Dex, a new teenager in the family. Being with family, being with family. Just being here. Successful back surgery. Watching the red squirrels. May the naming of these joys out loud and in our hearts help to collectively lift us in celebration of the beauty that is life. Will you join me now in a spirit of prayer or meditation? Spirit of life, Spirit of love, as we bring our hearts to a holy place, may the weight of all that is heavy not weigh us down too much. May we carry this weight together. May we help to lighten another's load with our compassion, with our love, with our actions. May we hold the joys of nature, of beauty, of people, of connection, as much as we hold that which weighs down upon us, knowing that we are a people who see what has been destroyed, who allow it to be felt in our hearts. And we are a people who do not stop there. It may be perverse that age after age, we choose to cast our lots with those who choose to reconstitute the world, and we recommit ourselves again and again to use our gifts in service of love, of ourselves, of one another here, and of all beings across this beautiful existence. So may it be, and amen. It is really delightful to be here this morning as a Delawarean, as one of your staff at the National Unitarian Universalist Association, where I work at Side with Love. And my partner Heather's a minister at UUs of Southern Delaware down in Lewis, where we usually find ourselves. And what a joy to accept this invitation from Reverend Larry to come. Larry was coached Heather and I in our last ministry together. So it's so just fun to get to be here with you all in this congregation. So thank you for having us. I invite you to join me in a journey back to New Year's Eve, 1999. Some of us remember this as the time of Y2K, the year 2000. For those like my child listening over there who don't know what Y2K was, as the turn of the millennium approached, there was much fear and speculation about systems collapsing because that turn from 1999 to 2000 in the numbers was not something that computer programmers had necessarily planned for. And there was fear that electric grids would go down, that stoplights and all the systems that relied on the computers that, yes, we had 25 years ago and that were functioning, were going to collapse. And so we were afraid and anxious and uncertain what would come. I don't actually remember where I was on New Year's Eve of 1999. Maybe you do. But what I do remember was the months leading up to it. I was scared about Y2K, yes, but I was also anxious and mad about the state of the world. The 1990s had brought us welfare deform, pushing so many more people into poverty. It brought a spotlight on racial profiling that we then called DWB, driving while black or brown. The 90s brought us NAFTA and free trade agreements that brought job loss, decreased wages, and decimation of unions. In California, where I lived at the time, it was the decade where voters killed affirmative action and voted to bar immigrant students from public schools. So as this new year approached, I took my fear and my anger and anxiety and I made a plan. I told all my friends that I had a plan for the revolution. At midnight on Y2K, they would all receive an envelope slipped under their door with their marching orders for the revolution. I had it all planned out. They didn't have to worry about anything. All they had to do was be ready to receive their envelope and do everything that was on it, and then everything would be just fine. We would then have a millennium that would be full of abundance and beauty and peace. It would be a time to live lives of joy and love in our gardens. It was a really nice dream. Wouldn't it be nice if it were only so simple? For someone to tell us our marching orders for all that is broken, so we can just live in peace, play at the beach, laugh with our family and friends, and have ample alone time for the introverts among us. You've figured out by now that I didn't have a plan. I had a very nice delusion, magical thinking to get through a time of anxiety and anger. Fast forward 25 years, and I still do not have a plan. And once again, or perhaps still, I am scared and mad. You too? I am a devoted listener to the Fascism Barometer podcast by Black queer strategist Ajaris Dixon. She calls herself a movement meteorologist, and yes, she reports that the barometer reading is quite high. Recently, she brought on movement strategist Malkia Devich-Cyril to talk about their newest project, Radical Loss, a Black-led change lab transforming how movements face loss and catalyze grief into more powerful leadership and collective action. Malkia said this in talking about collective grief with Ajaris. I can't tell you there's some way you're not going to feel bad right now, because I think that's what people want to hear, and it's not available. That is not available. We are experiencing all types of genocide and authoritarian regimes. We are experiencing state violence on a level that in this generation we haven't seen. There's no way we're going to wake up and just feel good. That is not available. But gosh darn it, I want it to be available, don't you? I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel hope and possibility and love. I want clarity about what I and we need to do to build beloved community. I just want somebody to give me that darn envelope under the door. And that is not available. Delusion and magical thinking are available. Numbing out with screens and substances and consumption is available. Narrowing our world to our own concerns is available. Cynicism and despair are available. But I don't think you would be here in these seats or on this YouTube channel if you believed that that was all that is available to you. You might be in a place of despair or numbness or magical thinking in this moment, but you are here because you don't want to stay there. You know that another world is possible and that we need one another to be reminded of the possibilities that are available. Malkia continued in their conversation. What is available is feeling extraordinary purpose. What is available is finding moments of joy and allowing those moments of joy to flood through you. What's available is being in relationship. What's available is giving to the society, to the people, to the land. Can I get an amen for that? Thank you. We are a people who believe in this possibility of all that is available to us. We, Unitarian Universalists, are a people of covenant and interdependence, a people who center love, who celebrate the incredible beauty and miracle of this earth that we share, the red squirrels, the garden, the beautiful sun. We believe in our ability to transform this world with our actions. We know that no one is free until everyone is free and all life is sacred. We come to worship to be reminded of these core tenets of possibility and purpose centered in love. We come to worship to be inspired by what is possible when we gather to dream and be and do together. Malkia said it so well. We believe in the availability of extraordinary purpose, moments of joy, relationship, and giving to our society and people. What's available to you right now? Where is the joy, the purpose, the relationship? I can tell you a litany of all the bad that weighs on my heart and probably yours. The headlines on my phone or in the newspaper. I don't know if you still have newspapers up here. We don't really have the printed paper. So on the phone, that litany of headlines is long. Add to that the personal heartaches and illness and grief that so many of us carry. I invite you once again to breathe into that very real, heavy, hard, and sad. And breathe it out. Let us not stay there, because that is not all there is. I invite us now into some personal reflection on what else is available. Settle into your seat, notice your body, notice your breath. And think about a time you felt extraordinary purpose. What happened? What did it feel like, that extraordinary purpose? Whether it was last week or many, many years ago, let that feeling of purpose beam throughout your body and spirit. Let it fortify you. Now I invite you into a time of remembering when joy flooded through you. Where were you? What happened? Remember that feeling of joy coursing through your blood and bones and spirit. Let that joy nourish you once again. And finally, remember a time when being in relationship with others buoyed you and held you. Remember how that felt. Who was there? Send some love to those people right now. Notice your breath as we come back into this shared space together. Remembering extraordinary purpose, extraordinary joy, deep relationship. How do you feel? I feel lighter and energized, thinking about the sound of the waves crashing at Cape Henlopen while I play in the water with my kids. I feel more hopeful when I talk with neighbors who are making sure their friends are voting in our special election for our House rep in Milton this week. I feel connected when I gather and Zoom with others across the country to stop Avelo Airlines' contract with ICE. We have info and flyers in Parish Hall after worship if you want to make a phone call or get involved with that. Purpose, joy, relationship, service. They lift me up, they buoy us, they connect us to the greater whole, and they are available. Eschatology is a big seminary word, usually meaning beliefs and study of end times, like the end of the world, the end of humankind, judgment, all of that. For many I have talked with this year, it feels like we now are in end times. Things are going downhill faster and faster, and hope is hard to find. But the Greek word eschaton is more about edges or boundaries rather than a finite ending. Rather than accepting eschatology framed as related to end times, you take up this image of edges and boundaries, and our eschatology tends to focus on the purpose of life and how we live with our ethics. In other words, eschatology is a question of where we are finding purpose, joy, relationship, and service. Malkia Devich-Cyril reminds us to get real about what is available to us on this edge of late-stage capitalism and fascism. When we get real, we know that stopping the violence of the big bad budget bill, that halting ICE kidnappings and stopping genocide in Gaza is not available to us, at least not today. We have to accept that reality. But we don't stop there. We find the things that we can do. We kindle joy where we can in our gardens, books, and families, in our movements. We gather in community knowing that we will help each other through and do what we can to bring about a better world. On this edge, this eschaton, we Unitarian Universalists choose love and connection amidst uncertain outcomes. This is a radically different eschatology than the economic, political, and Christian nationalist right. They believe that the end times are coming, and they are actively trying to accelerate their arrival so that the chosen few will be saved in the rapture, or in Musk's case, by going to Mars. An astonishing percent of Christians in the US believe this is happening. Writer Astra Taylor calls them traitors to life. She says of the Rights Coalition, one thing that unites them is a contempt for the world, the contempt for other living beings. And so you have figures like Elon Musk saying, if we don't go to Mars, we'll be stuck on Earth forever. Astra Taylor continues, I was like, stuck on Earth? Earth is amazing. I love Earth. Who's stuck here? This is home. This is the most beautiful planet we know in the entire universe at this point. I am with Taylor. What an incredible, beautiful, amazing home we have here on this Earth. But Musk and the tech bros see the earthly realm as one to be transcended. They are not, in fact, climate denialists. They understand perfectly well what is happening, and they are willing to accelerate climate catastrophe for their own gain. They think they can keep themselves safe in bunkers or freedom cities or on Mars. These wealthy tech bros are joined in a dangerous political coalition by evangelical Christians who also believe they are among the saved. They don't care about the survival of human beings or the earth. Traitors to life, as Taylor says. Dividing people into saved and damned, worthy and unworthy, upstanding citizens and worthless criminals, this serves their agenda. But we, Unitarian Universalists, are guided by a different set of truths. We are a people of universal salvation and original blessing, not original sin. We have long believed in the inherent worthiness of every single person. We believe, we know that every body is sacred. Trans bodies, disabled bodies, black bodies, immigrant bodies, children and elders' bodies, poor bodies. We believe that life is sacred and earth is a blessing, not something to be controlled or conquered or superseded by AI. We believe that redemption is always possible and no one deserves eternal punishment. Our Universalist heritage teaches that we are all in this together, one interdependent web of existence that, for better and for worse, we have agency to shape. And our hope, our charge, our call is to shape it for the better of all things. I wish it were clear how to take on that charge. I wish that someone would just give me the envelope with my instructions, just tell me what to do in concert with others to fix this mess. But we are a faith of questions more than answers, and that is an amazing thing. We are a faith of process and presence more than final destination. The eschaton is an edge, a boundary, not a final ending. So there's no envelope coming. We know that. I still don't like it, but we know that. And we at the Unitarian Universalist Association, your denomination, we at Side with Love, this is my full-time job. It is not to tell you what to do. We instead offer guideposts. At Side with Love, I coordinate a monthly event called The Gathering. At The Gathering, we strengthen hearts and spirits for the work ahead. You can see information about it on the slide. We make sense of threats to democracy and justice, and we offer stories of collective action. This month, we have some folks from Georgia, a bunch of ragtag UUs who are doing incredible work on public utilities. I invite you to come the second Monday of each month, or which includes this coming month, a week from Monday, and you can always watch the recording on your own time at sidewithlove.org. The guiding principle behind the gathering is to collectively orient to these guideposts, to remind each other of things that I am sure that you, like me, know, but forget in the overwhelm of life and news headlines. So here are our guiding principles. There is no one answer, and we must act anyway. Second, what we do matters, even though none of it is enough and no one can do it all. To the justice warriors here, remember, no one, including you, can do it all. 3, tend to your spirit, because this is long-haul work. 4, hold fast to our long-term dreams that another world is possible. 5, cultivate joy and hope. They are essential to fending off despair and inaction. And finally, we need each other. We need each other. A bigger and a wider we need each other. Beloveds, we are in this together. The outcome is not certain. The envelopes with instructions are not coming. But we have each other, and we have our fervent beliefs in the beauty of life, the centrality of love, and that the future is ever unfolding. May we stay on the journey with joy, extraordinary purpose, and connection. So may it be, and amen.
Thank you, Reverend Cathy. Stewardship, is about currency. I'll leave that as an assumption, but I want to address more than what we give is what does it mean that we give? And so I want to share a little story from my childhood. When I was around 10 years old, I went to church camp for the first time. To make this very long story much shorter, along with some other boys, I whittled a spear out of a tree branch. It was about the length of my arm and about the width of my little finger. I shaved it into a point, which in my imagination was a lethal instrument in the hunt that my comrades and I would engage in looking for frogs. By some miraculous freak of physics, when I threw my spear at an unsuspecting frog, I actually hit it. I ran to the spot of the murder, lifted my spear with the drooping frog on the end, and a friend of mine said, "You got it." Indeed, I had. And in my ignorance of the anticipated cause-effect, I felt awful. That night at the campfire, we were invited to bring along a small piece of wood to, at the appropriate time, toss into the campfire. We were told by the counselor, this little piece of wood represents any sin or mistake you've made today. And if you ask God to forgive you, when you throw it into the campfire, you are throwing away all of the guilt and all of the error so that tomorrow you can start fresh. In retrospect, I learned two things. First, it didn't work. I still feel guilty for the ignorance of needlessly ending the life of a dear little frog, a wanton act of childhood atrocity. But second, and more to the point of this allegory, I've come to embrace that certain symbolic actions of substance can have profound meaning. And Here it comes. This applies to church giving as well. To write that check, to click that donation icon, to drop that currency into the offering bag when it comes around in a minute. These are concrete gestures of commitment. At least they can be. Oh, they can just be rote behavior, because that's what you're expected to do when you're in church. Maybe routine matters of habit, compulsion. One can flippantly toss the piece of wood into the fire, or one may place it on the flame consciously, recognizing that the means are far more important than the mere act of combustion. So, you are invited to make your giving a deliberate act that represents your commitment to the mission of First U. I invite you to join with me in our offering dedication to the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action. We dedicate our lives and these our offerings. If you have a candle at home or a chalice at home, I invite you to extinguish the flame with us here in the sanctuary at this time as Reverend Cathy puts out our flame. As we extinguish this flame, we reaffirm our commitment to accept life's gifts with grace and gratitude and to use them to bless the world in the spirit of love.
Beloveds, we are indeed in this together. Remember the extraordinary purpose, the joy, and the relationships that are always available to you as we together choose to reconstitute the world. Go in peace, sharing love, answering the call of love.
Faith, hope, and love abide.